Hello gamers, welcome to the channel. Got another episode today of Will It Play, the series where I try to inform you just how well games will play on your favorite handheld devices. This is geared more towards the users that just want to be able to download a game and jump straight in, more of that download and go mentality. Today, I want to talk to you about Star Wars Outlaws, the newest Star Wars open world game from Ubisoft. The game just released today, this morning, last night, depending on where you are located, and I've been working hard to try and get you all some accurate information coming into release day. I do want to note that I am only playing this by paying for the premium or upper version of Ubisoft Plus at that $17.99 a month, which gives you access to the game, but it also gave you access to the early edition. So I have been playing it for the past couple days via the Ubisoft Plus membership. More so just because I wanted to check out the game, see how I liked it before potentially dumping any money into it. And I really just didn't know how I was going to handle on some of these devices. So join me as we jump into the Star Wars universe and answer the question, will it play? Before we jump into some gameplay, let's talk settings. As I've mentioned in my other videos, I only utilize the default settings and I don't make any changes to those. So these are the default settings that I am referencing for this video and this game. This is what the game defaulted to. I have not made any changes to any of these. So first, let's check out gameplay on the Steam Deck. So the bad news is, at the time of filming this game does not run on the Steam Deck if you're running SteamOS. Basically, you can download the game and get to the main menu, but as soon as you try to load into the game, it will freeze and you will have to reboot your Steam Deck. I have tried selecting a new game, resuming a previous game. I've tried this multiple times of both the LCD and the OLED, but unfortunately, it's the same result every time. So if you're looking to play this on the Steam Deck right now, you either need to dual boot with Windows, which I don't, or you can use the streaming service like GeForce Now, which I'll show you in a bit. And hopefully there's some sort of patch that fixes this for the Steam Deck in the near future. Moving on to the ROG Ally Z1 Extreme version. With the ROG Ally, as I've mentioned in past videos, even though I do move through the different operating modes, I normally play this at the 720p resolution, as I believe this is the closest comparison to what we get on the Steam Deck. Now, I didn't get any Steam Deck gameplay for this video since it's not compatible, so I probably could have bumped this up, but I didn't think about that until after everything was filmed. So starting off in the 15 watt performance mode, we are in the opening of the game on the first planet, and from the get-go, while this is not a huge strain on our CPU, fluctuating at around 30%, we can definitely see that this is a large strain on GPU usage, consistently sitting in that 90 percentile range. As for our FPS, we're looking at an average of the high 20s with only a few small jumps into the 30s. And then battery life. Definitely not amazing by any means. Playing on the 15 watt performance mode, I lost 72% in just 1 hour, so we can really only estimate around 1.4 hours or 83 minutes of playtime on this mode.
Do your thing, Nix, just like I taught you. Nix, it's showtime.
Next, we're checking out that 25 watt unplugged turbo mode. First off, we're here in the open world on a speeder, and you can see our CPU usage jumping from the 30s into the 80 percentile, and our GPU is in the high 80s to low 90s, and our FPS is at a not good low mid 20s. Getting into an actual mission, our CPU usage levels out to around 40%, but our GPU usage is still almost maxed out at around 97%. And then we do see a small increase in our FPS on this mode, averaging around 30 frames per second, with just a few occasional dips. The battery life in this mode is bad though. I burned through a full charge in 49 minutes, so don't expect to get more than an hour if you're playing unplugged at this mode.
Okay, guess there's another one of these things.
Is the governor really asking for...
Keep moving, Nick! They're headed for us! They won't quit!
We did it. Who cares if they saw us?
And then last up, we're plugging it in for that 30-watt turbo mode. Our CPU and GPU usage are very similar to what we were seeing in the unplugged turbo mode. Surprisingly, here in space, we're getting much higher FPS than we've previously seen at any point.
Trailblazer!
And even here on this Imperial ship, we're seeing some good FPS in the low to mid 50s.
Obligation to treat them as such.
But once we jump back on planet in the open world, we see that drastic hit while riding the speeder. And then moving into a side quest out in the world, we're getting a consistent 27 to 30 frames per second with a few dips into the low 20s while in combat. Obviously, no discussion on battery life here because we are plugged in.
Opening cover! Time to hurt! I can still take you down! I can't get a shot! Okay, I'm good. Next attack! You got this! They never see you coming, huh?
Like shadows, right?
So let's recap, first looking at battery life. Since I can't even play this on the Steam Deck, we're just looking at 2 data points with the ROG Ally. With the Ally, we're at the 720p in the 15-watt performance mode. I lost 72% in just 1 hour, so we can only estimate about 80 to 90 minutes of playtime on this mode. And then playing at 720p in the 25-watt turbo mode, I only made it 49 minutes on a full charge. Next, we'll look at FPS and our averages. Once again, we're only able to focus on the Ally. These numbers are coming from doing quests and exploring in the open world. You can see that we get our better numbers with the turbo modes, specifically at 720p, and that for each operating mode, our FPS does go down the higher the resolution is set. The last thing that I want to show, which I don't normally do, is the metrics if you were to play this through GeForce Now, because for some of you, especially if you want to play this on the Steam Deck, this may be your only option. So as expected, we get great numbers with cloud gaming, and it's such a light lift on your machine, you could probably get a good couple of hours of gameplay on a full charge. You will notice that on the Steam Deck LCD, I'm getting a solid 60 frames per second, but even if you're on the OLED, you're probably going to see the same thing. This is due to, based on my understanding, the fact that GeForce Now on the Steam Deck is run through a browser, and that browser version is limited to 60 FPS. I did also check GeForce Now gameplay on the Ally, playing at 15 watt performance mode, 1080p, and once again I was seeing great numbers, minimal lift on the system, solid 60 frames per second. The reason I was only seeing 60 FPS on the Ally is due to me having the free tier of GeForce Now. If I wanted anything higher than that, I'd have to pay for the ultimate version at $19.99 a month. And I already have too many subscriptions, so definitely not doing that right now.
I see pikes. Trouble up ahead, Nix.
So, Star Wars Outlaws, will it play? This is a no in my humble opinion. First off, at the time of filming this, it's not even playable on the Steam Deck. Maybe there's going to be a day one patch or something coming up soon where it's optimized, but you cannot play this on the Steam Deck if you're running SteamOS. Your only options right now are Windows or some sort of cloud streaming service. For the ROG Ally, obviously it plays, and I'm not like some elitist FPS snob, but I think the bare minimum has to be a consistent 30 FPS and up, and you can see that we're not getting this. Even playing at 720p in the turbo mode plugged in, some parts we get this, but some parts we're dropping into the 20s, and I would just say that does not make this a playable game. That doesn't mean that it's not a fun game. I have been really enjoying playing this game via my other avenues. I just don't think that right now it's the best game for a handheld device. Hopefully it's better optimized in the future. If it's something you're actually interested in though, I mean, you can drop the $20 after tax to sign up for a month of the Ubisoft Plus, give it a go and see if you like it or not. Maybe it meets your standards. But once again, just my humble opinion, as of right now, I don't think it's playable on the handheld devices. If you have been playing Star Wars Outlaws, whether it's on your handheld or through another means, I'd love to hear about your experiences. Once again, this game had a lot of hate going into it, and I have honestly been enjoying myself so far, so I'm curious to see if other people have been enjoying it as well. If you found this video informative, please drop a like and subscribe to the channel because your support means everything. I hope everyone has a great day, and game on.